welcome to the Technical Staff and Theatre Workers podcast. It's the podcast in which I talk to people who work backstage in the technical theatre industry about how they got in, their experiences, and any advice they can give to anyone getting in. This is episode 4 of season 3. A big thank you to everyone who's downloaded the show, everyone who's listening to the show. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell everyone you know who's interested in theatre and those who aren't interested in theatre, because it might make them interested in theatre. Yes, thank you so much for all the downloads. It's been really good so far, so really enjoying it. And without further ado, let's get on to our next guest. I'm here with my guest at this time. If you'd like to introduce yourself and tell me what your current job title is.
Hello, I am Dando. Do you want my actual name? Just my nickname?
Do you want your actual name?
Alex Dando. Everyone just calls me Dando.
Oh, hang on a sec.
Yeah.
Where did they get that nickname from? That's
I know.
really imaginative.
It's really really unique. You wouldn't suspect the origin at all, would you? Wait, what was the second? Oh, what's my job?
What's your job?
It's going really well, isn't it? I'm LX3 on the Book of Mormon.
Excellent. How did you get into theatre?
So I actually applied for an apprenticeship with DMT, and it turns out this is going to make me sound big-headed, I was a bit overqualified for an apprenticeship because I already had 1.5 degrees.
1.5?
Well, 1 1/3, really.
Right.
So I was a bit overqualified for it, but obviously I didn't know any other way to get in, and I just thought, theatre would sound great. Because I did my first degree was in film, but specialised in cinematography and post-production. So I'd done lots of work with lighting before, but obviously not in a theatre capacity. So I thought, I'd love to work in theatre, still lighting, but it's different to film. But I had no idea how to get in. Saw the apprenticeship and applied. They were like, well, we don't really want to give you an apprenticeship, but do you want to just have a job and see how it goes?
Wow.
And it went well, luckily.
Excellent.
Thank Christ.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So you started in film?
Yeah. I started working on film sets in the first year of my first year of uni. Did loads of running work throughout the whole of uni, and managed to work my way into camera teams because cinematography. But with cameras, obviously, you do some gaffer work and everything, help out where you can. So that's what I'm actually trained in. Absolutely nothing to do with theatre.
Excellent, that's fine. It's unusual, though, because I know a lot of people who have gone from theatre into TV and film.
Yeah.
But I don't know many people who have come the other way. So that's quite unusual.
Yeah, everyone said that when I first introduced myself. They were like, you've done the wrong way round.
Yeah, why? Yeah. People are going, why?
Yeah.
Also, that's quite interesting that you said that you didn't really know another way of getting in.
Yeah.
If only there was a podcast you could listen to that helped you.
Exactly. If only 3 years ago this was a thing.
So what was your first job in theatre?
First job in theatre was a follow spot operator on Life of Pi.
Oh, excellent.
And I didn't realise how... I'm trying to think of a word that doesn't come across badly. How different that follow spot job was to every other follow spot job I did.
Oh, right, okay.
You didn't have a sight, so... just sort of had to
just to blindly aim.
Yeah, just have to, let Jesus guide you on where the light was going to come up. But I'd never had another job, so I was like, this is what every follow spot's like, right?
Oh, right.
And the actual lights we were using were just like movers with the motor out. So
so they weren't even follow spots you were using. You were just moving lights
literally
that had no motor and just pointing them randomly.
Yeah.
That sounds like a great show.
It was great. Suppose you got really used to it, but then I remember coming here and they were like, have you sighted up? And I was like, yeah, what? Have I done what? I remember trying to not give away how new I was at everything, but didn't have no idea.
And also, it must be difficult to use one of those as a follow spot to spot a tiger as well, because
it was carnage. It was it was always stupid when they'd be like, head and shoulders on the tiger. I don't think I could do a head and shoulders shot on a tiger, mate. I'm not good enough.
Give us a list of any other jobs you've had from Life of Pi to now. Oh my God, I dropped my book.
Right. So started on Life of Pi, and then moved to be a follow spot here at Book of Mormon. And then moved to be a follow spot on Les Mis. But in between that, I have done... I ran video for the 3-week run on Into the Woods down in Bath. And I also set up the Stranger Things experience in Brent Cross, is that right? I forgot.
Brent Cross sounds right.
Yeah, sounds right, doesn't it? Did the LED wall on that, which was hilarious. Because, like I said, also that was another thing, completely winging it. They were like, "Yeah, you've worked with LED panels before," and I was like, "No, but I'm sure I could help." I would like to be honest at my level of experience. And yeah, when I was starting out, people were like, "Yeah, you know how to do this, right?" And I was like, "No idea, but I think I'm good at picking things up." So yeah. Anyway, I did that. And then when I finished Follow Spot on the Limits, I came back to Wickham Ormond to be a technician. So yeah, very limited sort of bit of experience, but it's still a lot.
But still good, and you're working your way up.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Incidentally, going back, you said you've got 1 and a third degrees. What's your third degree?
So it's the beginning of a engineering and computing degree. But but because it's such a long degree, because it's 6 years, I've only done...
Is it Open U? OU?
Yeah.
That's why it takes so long, isn't
it?
Yeah. Excellent. So what would you say was your favourite job? Obviously, you can't discount in this one.
I mean, yeah, apart from this one...
what's your favourite show to Follow Spot that you've done?
Okay, the favourite... Oh, no. I don't know. Oh, God.
Was it the tiger? Or was it the guy chucking himself off a bridge?
I think they're all good for different reasons. Like Life with Pi was really interesting because it was just a bit wacky, and because like I said, it was a mover. They could make the spot do anything. So my spot strobed sometimes, which was really a real challenge to spot whilst it was strobing. Whereas Book of Mormon, I don't know, I guess it's because you're in control of everything, it's really fun, like you're doing all the frames and all the intensity and everything.
Yeah.
Whereas Lamers was really great people. So
wow. Yeah. That's a diplomatic answer, if I ever heard one. So have you had any issues coming in the industry, being a woman in the industry, coming from a different sort of part of the industry, coming into theatre? Have you found you've had any issues? Anybody holding you back? Anybody treating you different? That kind of thing.
Trying to think. I feel like I have been quite lucky with the people I've come across. 90% of them have been really lovely, really supportive. Obviously, my complete lack of training in theatre, most people don't care about, to the level of knowledge I had was like literally someone would say take a gobo out of a light and I'd have to Google what a gobo was.
Luckily you can Google that now.
Yeah, literally. So I'd get most people have been really like, I say I've not done this for very long, and people have been like, that's okay, I'll completely show you, like show me everything. Whereas some people I've gone, I don't know what that is, and they sort of roll their eyes and scoff and walk away and be like, oh, you're useless to me. I do think some of the funniest ones, like I said, being a woman, also being quite a small woman, and I don't look like I'm very strong, but I'm secretly strong, but secretly strong.
It's like you're hiding it from people.
Yeah, I can't show it too much. But when I started doing get outs, because luckily whichever way you see my name, whether you just see Dando or you just see Alex, most people assume I'm a man.
Right.
So they like talk to me over text and email, like giving me all the details and stuff, and then I rock up and I'm like, hello, how can I help? And I was like, oh fuck, you're Alex. Oh, okay, sorry, I'm allowed to swear.
Yeah, I've already done it. You're fine, it's fine.
Yeah, and so sometimes, like, at the beginning of Get Outs, when I turn up, people are like, they don't give me anything to do because they just don't think I can do anything.
Right.
But obviously I completely ignore them and just do whatever I want anyway.
That's fine.
And then,
you see, I go the other way, is that I wish if I turned up to a Get Out, somebody would just not give me anything to do. I'd quite happily sit there and do nothing for the entire Get Out and then get paid for it.
You're just too competent, Bram.
That'd be great.
You're just too competent.
Must be it. Incidentally, what's Alex short for?
Alexandra.
Very
fancy.
Yeah. Very much so. What would you say are the pros and cons of being in the industry, especially coming from a film and TV background? Or not TV? Did you do any TV?
Yeah,
just
a little
mainly
bit.
Film.
Mainly film, but yeah, a little bit of TV. I did some of those like like Bake Off style reality TVs. They were great, but just lunacy. Anyway, that's not the question. Avoid that tangent. Pros and cons, that was what you asked, wasn't it? Like, compared to film, I think one of the biggest pro for most theatre jobs is like the steady work and the fact that you've got like a solid chunk set out.
Right.
Like, even if you do a shorter contract, like when I was on opening, like, oh, I forgot that.
Oh yeah, you forgot that one.
I forgot I did that.
What was that, 3 weeks ago or something?
Literally. I think we're bordering on 4 weeks, but yeah, pretty much. I forgot about that. Yeah, like even though that was supposed to be 6 months, that for compared to a film contract is massive.
Yeah.
Whereas like film, like when you have work in film, it's like 3 days and then nothing for another month and then 3 days. So I think a massive con is the steady work. Like, yeah, and having that. Trying to think of any more or any not a massive con, massive pro. Oh, got the wrong way around.
That's fine. so that's interesting as well. So you did opening night with Sheridan, obviously. You did the camera on stage, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
Now, was that another thing of you've worked with cameras before, so you can do this, but you weren't really sure what you were doing, or were you confident in that one?
I was a lot more confident in that. I think, like I said, it's actually what I've been trained in. So when people were saying stuff, I was like, I know what. I think one thing is, when people try and confuse you with lingo and they like shorten everything, and you're like, I need someone, just say it outright what you want. But people were using obviously loads of camera lingo, and I was like, I know what bollocks you're trying to spit at me. Like, flip it round, walk away.
Yeah. Or the other thing I find is that you get certain creatives will hear they'll hear a word and they'll try and use that word, but they don't know what that word actually means, so they just use it over and over and over.
Yes.
And you're like, well, you're not really sure what you're talking about, are you?
That's so true.
What would you say is a common misconception for somebody getting into the industry? So what do they think the industry is that it actually isn't?
I think that this isn't really. I mean, I suppose there's one massive common misconception I had before I started was actually how many people work on one show. I had no idea how big the teams were sometimes, and I think that's something that people. But that's not really massive. But I think one thing, especially for like my role that I'm in, I didn't realise how much of it wasn't just the show, if that makes sense.
Yes, because you work for the building, don't you? So it's a lot of it is building stuff as well.
So when I first came into this role and I was learning about, this is going to sound really boring, but it's really not, but like air cons and plumbing and, breakers and debit and where they all feed from, even though when I came in I didn't really fully
Even doing a lamp round.
Yeah, exactly.
Changing the lights in the auditorium, nothing to do with the show.
Literally, yeah. And I know it sounds wild, doesn't it? But it's actually really, like I say, when you're with a good team, it's actually really fun, and it's actually been really interesting learning that side as well. But yeah, I think that for someone in my role is a bit of a common misconception, because you think you're just doing the show, walk in, just do the show, walk out. Like my family don't get it. They ring me like, why are you at work at 9 a.m? And I'm like, well, it's my job. And they're like, but the show's not until 7:30. And it's like, oh, numpties.
Yes, I agree with your point on how many people work backstage as well. Because I mean, I remember when I worked on Les Mis, I think there was nearly 100 people working backstage.
Oh my god!
And people didn't really understand
why
or how there could be that many people backstage. Also, what's quite interesting is. As sound, we're employed by the show.
Yes.
So sound, automation, wardrobe, wigs, stage management are all employed by the show, but the lighting isn't.
It's a bit weird, isn't it?
Isn't that weird?
But
always seems to be like that as well. There's not. Yeah. It's very rare. On tour, it's not, because on tour it's generally there's a touring lighting department. Yeah. But in a West End show, they're always in house. It's always employed by the building, which are.
It is really random. It's like, why draw the line there?
Yeah, it is quite strange, isn't it?
Yeah.
What advice would you give to anybody trying to get in?
Yeah, I can swear, can't I?
Of course you can.
Don't be a cunt.
Oh, wow, that is swearing. Okay.
Sorry.
No, that's fine. You can say that. That's fine.
I think that's the biggest one. Just
don't be a dick.
Yeah. That's a better way of saying it.
Don't be a dick.
You can tell I was raised in Essex, can't you?
That's all right.
Just don't be a dick, because even if I don't know how to say it, I'm really, really eloquent, aren't I? Personally, obviously coming in with little knowledge and not 100% sure what I was doing and managing to work my way up is because I like to think I'm a nice person to be around, and I try and be bubbly, and I ask loads of questions. And if you come in and you're rude and you pretend that you know everything when actually you don't, everyone sees through it. And if
very quickly as well, they will.
Yeah, very quickly. And people are willing to teach you things, and even if you're a bit of a numpty, if you're a nice person. So I feel,
this is the thing, especially with you, is that you're a little self-deprecating. You'll be the first person to put yourself down, and I don't know why, because you know what you're doing. But also, you're genuine.
Oh, thank you.
And so it's okay, but you are, you're the first person that will say, I don't know what you want me to, I'm not sure about this, I'm not sure about that, which is a good piece of advice in itself for people. If they're not sure about something, then ask.
Yeah.
Rather than, it's much better than than saying you know how to do something and getting it wrong.
Yeah, I think one of my most common phrases when I first started in this job was, I'm going to be stupid now, so I'm not stupid later.
That's a great phrase. We should get that on a T-shirt. Lovely. That is all the questions. I've got one more for you because you used to work on film sets.
Okay.
What's the most well-known film set you've ever been on?
Oh, God.
You've ever worked on?
Not many, because like I said, I dipped out quite early in my career. I did this is TV, but I did Landscape Artist of the Year. Wild.
Awesome.
Yeah,
that's
and
awesome.
I did some adverts with like Tesco and stuff, which
Fantastic.
were probably, as in those are names where people would actually maybe recognise them, but most of the other ones were just. I did something with Jack Whitehall in. That was, I think that's the biggest in inverted commas name
right
that I've worked with. All the others were I think. Yeah.
Independence.
Yeah. Paid in pizza.
Oh, lovely. Perfect. Well, thank you for joining me.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Thank you. A big thank you to Alex for that one. I enjoyed that one. Interesting talking to somebody who came from a television or film background who did that at college and decided to transition into theatre. So, it was really good, really enjoyable, and she's a good laugh, Alex. So thank you so much for listening to this. Thank you so much for downloading it. It's been really great, really loving it so far, and long may it continue. Thank you to all the guests that have been on, and I shall see you all next week.